Dreamy hunk, right here.
Hi.
Hi.
Want to go to the weenie roast with me tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're Marvy.
Well, actually, I'm Johnny. Johnny Bravo.
Hey, pal, are you cutting in on my time?
Come again?
Raiding my chick coop, Daddy-O.
What?
Don't worry about him, Johnny. He's just a nobody. Now, come on and buy me a chocolate malted.
Chocolate wooded?
Welcome to Checker Childhood, a classic Cartoon Network podcast covering many, many years of Cartoon Network's history.
I'm funky. I'm fresh.
Hi, the Powerpuff Girls. Hi.
Not now, boy. I'm busy. Tonight's the third night.
Whoa, mama, ToonHeads. It's your Elvis Stew sporting host, BDubs, and this is Checker Childhood, a classic Cartoon Network podcast dedicated to all things animation from the 1990s and early 2000s. Today we're picking up chicks around Aron City to see if we can charm them into a date with our favorite Johnny Bravo episodes. Hint, some of them Johnny actually succeeds, but not in a typical fashion. But before I share a few of my favorite episodes from my youth, we've got a letter. A listener by the name of Al-Fatha Sabid, sorry if I butchered your name there, sent me his remarks on one of our recent episodes. Al-Fatha writes, "Hi, I just listened to your episode on Genndy Tartakovsky, and I really enjoyed it. The way you told his story, from not being able to draw a circle to becoming one of Cartoon Network's master storytellers, was truly inspiring. Thank you for the kind words, Al-Fatha. Truth be told, I tried launching this podcast last year in 2024 with much shorter episodes, and the one I did for Genndy originally didn't quite feel fleshed out enough, so I felt the need to expand upon this one much more and give it a more formal approach to make it happen. I'm happy you got some value out of it, because what inspired me to pursue animation as a lifelong passion was due to hearing about Genndy Tartakovsky's journey through the industry and seeing his work throughout my life on TV. I'm sure one day, one of us ToonHeads will follow in his footsteps, whether it's me, you, or someone else who might be familiar with his work. Thank you again. On that note, if anyone else out there like you would like to reach out to me and talk Cartoon Network or just comment on one of these episodes, you can always comment on YouTube on any of these episodes or email me at checkerchildhood@gmail.com. My door is always open for fans. All right, with that housekeeping out of the way, let's dive in and take a hefty bite out of nostalgia with a list of some of my favorite Johnny Bravo episodes. So starting off with one of my picks, it's actually a twofer because I felt the need to pair these two together due to their similar plots, where Johnny ends up dating a female who wasn't quite human, but is charismatic enough to be a great date after all. I'm talking, of course, about Date with an Antelope and Wolf in Chick's Clothing, 2 episodes from season 1.
Oh, mama. Millions of chicks at the push of a button. Hello. I should have tried this internet thing long ago. Hey, all you hot mamas. Want to talk to a steaming hunk of cyber fella?
Wow, are you really a steaming hunk?
Let's just say I take up a lot of cyberspace.
So why did I pick Date with an Antelope as one of my favorites? Well, I think it's pretty highly relevant with the reality versus expectation of meeting a stranger from the internet for a date. And while these expectations could ruin a night, at least Johnny did his best to make it work out.
You can have some of that if you want.
What?
My salt lick. Well, you can have some.
Oh, what about germs?
Oh, you look clean enough. Now, let's see here. Shoot. Oh, well, let's just go. Can you hand me my purse?
She was one of the sweeter females Johnny met in this season of the show and didn't judge him or size him up like any other run-of-the-mill dame would. This antelope is quite possibly one of the kindest Karens I know, and she's from this episode. Can't say I remember too much about it, but I enjoyed their date, and the way they both ate their food was pretty funny. As for Wolf and Chick's Clothing, I picked this one just because of how ridiculous it is. I mean, the werewolf ladies acting really captivated me as a young prepubescent boy for obvious reasons. But aside from her feminine charm, I did appreciate her kindness towards Johnny and enthusiasm, because you don't typically get that from a woman character in this show, immediately reacting kind to his advances. Or the fact that she also transformed into other forms based on the day of the week also lured me in.
Oh, wait, what's today?
I don't care. It's Wednesday. Why?
Oh, I forgot to mention, besides being a werewolf, I have another problem.
Another problem?
On Wednesdays, I change into...
On Wednesdays, I change into an annoying little bald man named Malvin who collects stamps. Wanna see some?
Stamps?
See here? This is the fat Elvis from a couple of years ago. and here's the skinny version.
Maybe I'll take up something safer, like shark wrestling.
Hey! Wait up!
Yeah, that Melvin, that Melvin transformation usually gave me a really good laugh rolling on the floor as a kid. I mean, it's unexpected, but a great punchline at the end of this episode. I mean, a balding guy who collects stamps. Yeah, no. Might be too much baggage for someone who's looking to advance a relationship. But hey, there's someone for everyone. I love that. And I also loved when they went to the different like buildings on their date, like the meat house for the restaurant, and the crowd panics and disperses, and there's that one guy where it's like, it's the werewolf, and they all run away immediately. And it happens like a few more times. I think it was a movie theater they went to as well. If you don't want to take my memories for it, go find an episode for yourself on the Johnny Bravo DVD, I think Amazon or HBO Max, and see what I'm talking about, because it's fun. Other than that, Johnny Bravo does come across as a jerk occasionally, but this time he genuinely cares about this werewolf lady named Fluffy, while also trying to be as non-offensive as possible in terms of her transformation abilities. I like that dynamic. He's very sweet and kind to her, even if there's a few weird bits with comedy going on. And her just eating all the dog biscuits and burping them with like no shame. Come on. That's hilarious.
Excuse me. Are you the blonde, macho, egotistical, swaggering, self-loving superstar wannabe? Hi there. I'm Fluffy. You must be Johnny.
Why, yes, ma'am. I'm Johnny
Hey, are those dog biscuits?
Yeah, those were for you. Excuse you, honey.
All right, the next favorite on here is Hanky Panky Blanky, also from season 1.
Blanky secured, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to notice a pattern that most of these are going to be from season 1 of the show, because I don't remember too much of the later seasons where Carl and Pops were introduced, mainly just because they kind of all bleed together in my head. And so I recognize like settings and characters, but not necessarily certain scenarios that stuck with me. So I apologize if none of these episodes really stand out to you. But, you know, if you feel some of the later Johnny Bravo episodes deserve to be mentioned, comment down below. It's a great opportunity to connect. But as I was saying about Hanky Panky Blanky, this one really resonated with me because I also had a blanket as a kid that I was very fond of that gave me some good memories. And I like how Johnny recollects, you know, the moments where he was really young with it and talked about like it was very special to him. So it shows his humanness and vulnerability in ways we don't typically see in other episodes, where his main focus is just who he can pick up for a date.
But mister, I beg of you, do what you want to the city, but leave my blankie out of this, okay? I've had that blankie ever since I was a little heartbreaker.
It also reminded me of that one Powerpuff Girls episode where Buttercup relies on a security blanket to give her, you know, the empowerment she needs to beat up baddies in Townsville. But I'd say that's another topic for another day. There's just something about the 90s and blankets for kids that seem to be common. Next one I can think of as one of my favorites is Johnny Bravo meets Adam West and Donny Osmond. I like both of these because, yeah, I mean, come on, Adam West voicing himself and just taking his own parodies in stride as a TV legend. I mean, he's constantly like messing up kids' names, which I guess he was more known for at conventions back then, because he's just had so many fans to deal with due to his popularity in 1960s Batman and other roles he's been in.
Now, as I'm sure you know,
Johnny.
Nick, as I'm sure you know, that's just a TV show. Oh, shoot. You wouldn't believe what I spend on tailoring. Anyway, as I said, it's just a TV show. Blast. Hand me that shirt, would you? Thanks. However, Betty, wherever there's a life at stake, I have no qualms about getting tough.
But yeah, I really love this like playful mystery caper that he and Johnny Bravo go on to figure out where the heck his mother went when she just went to the grocery store and was like 2 minutes later than expected. I guess that just goes to show you that patience pays off. But then we wouldn't have an episode like this where hijinks ensue and Adam West is constantly shredding through his suits because apparently he's so buff that the clothing can't take it. It's a lot of fun. And you'll find that most of these favorites are also a lot of fun, which is why you should go watch them if you can find a way to. As for the Donny Osmond one, well, it's another celebrity cameo episode where Donny Osmond helps Johnny as the hyper-positive nanny while his mother is away. And, you know, aside from trying to get him to clean the house and be more encouraging, I specifically remember the ending where he got zapped as he flew away like Mary Poppins into the sky. And I just remember laughing hysterically about it. It was so funny, even though obviously being struck by lightning isn't funny in real life. But in the context of this cartoon, it just seemed like, you know, he needed something a little bit unfortunate to bring down his pure positivity a peg. That's all I can really remember about it, is that Donny Osmond loved to clean and encourage Johnny, and he got struck by lightning.
Farewell.
Mama, there goes a real weirdo.
Remember, Johnny, keep a dream in your heart and always reach. Okay, that was a bad idea. Can I borrow your car?
I'm sure if you end up watching it, you'll find some more things that are worth talking about too. Next one that I remember pretty well as one of my favorites of Johnny Bravo is Barely Enough Time. And this one really stood out to me as more of like a connection to like something that you'd only remember if you were a 90s kid, or at least grew up in the 90s in your adolescence. Because I mean, if you ever lived through the frustration of missing school because your VCR clock was blinking 12 o'clock, then you know exactly why I'm talking about and why this one stands out so strong. Ironically, I do recall when this episode was cut off on the VHS tape when I used to record Cartoon Network episodes so I can rewatch them after school. So it's got like a double memory to it.
You woke me up early from my hibernation.
No, I didn't. You see that clock? It's midnight.
That's a VCR, kid. Not even I, Kronos, master of all time, can set one of those things.
Oh, the days of earlier technology before streaming. Truth be told, I never gave daylight savings time or hibernation much thought until this episode as like a thing that happens in life. So I got to give it to Kronos the Conqueror, aka Yogi Bear's estranged relative, some credit for enriching my knowledge just a tad. His grandiose performance was pretty fun to watch, and how like he was trying to make himself out to be such a big omnipotent character, but Johnny Bravo just did not take him seriously at all as he was trying to avoid being eaten by him after getting lost in a cave hiking on sundown one night. That's the basic plot of the episode. It's pretty fun.
That's it, kid. Time's up.
No, it isn't. I still have 12 minutes left.
That's the VCR. I really have to learn how to set that clock.
Next one of my favorites is Johnny Real Good. And this is among the Twilight Zone trilogy bunch. That was like one complete episode with 3 Twilight Zone inspired segments. And I really love this one because It's a Good Life is another classic Twilight Zone episode on its own, obviously. But the parody of it just elevates it to a whole next level. I mean, the fact that the parents are always smiling and saying positive things, even though Johnny Bravo just thinks they're completely ridiculous. The fact that the dad wears squeaky shoes that sound like duck quacks. And of course, the fact that the kid always sends Johnny into the cornfield where he doesn't want to be, and he constantly have to run out of it back into the house to deal with the kid and his mischievous nature.
I don't want any trouble from you hear?
You shouldn't yell at me. I like happy thoughts. If you think bad thoughts, I'll make you go in the cornfield.
What the? Hey, what's going on here?
It's a lot of fun, even if it can be frustrating for Johnny as a babysitter for this kid. If you happen to see the other two, I think it's The Man Who Cried Clown, which deals with a clown on the plane, similar to Nightmare at 20,000 Feet of that Twilight Zone episode. And then Little Talkie Tabitha, which is a doll that comes to life that tries to murder Johnny. Very much like Talking Tina from the Living Doll Twilight Zone episode. All very fun, if not a little bit creepy.
All right, kid, that's it. You're going to bed.
Okay, I got another one of my favorites here that comes to mind is Hip Hop Flop. Why? I mean, I love hip hop and R&B music because it seemed to be everywhere on TV in the 90s, as it was often on MTV, Nickelodeon, shows like All That, VH1. I mean, it was everywhere. Do I really need to say more? This episode felt a bit like this one Inside Out Boy short from Nickelodeon where he danced on stage with MC Hammer, or at least a character who looked like him in claymation, and got the audience all riled up by his unusual performance of turning himself inside out. Without the inside out part, the same premise does happen here, where to impress a girl, Johnny just wants to prove that he's, quote, fat, as in PHAT, and stupid, also in quotes, by taking a few tips from the Round Pound gang so he can become a ghetto fly man and bust a move on the stage at their concert in town that night.
Say, aren't you the Round Pound?
Yeah. What's up?
Well, what? Now, I was just wondering if y'all had any extra tickets to tonight's show.
Man, you find us a turntable and we'll put you in the show.
In the show?
I can't be with a man if he's not down.
Can you teach me how to be down? Whatever that means.
You go get the turntables, G, and we'll put you in the Round Pound School of Hip Hop.
Oh, that's so cool.
While Johnny did give a rousing performance with the celebrity music group on this show, the twist at the end both made me chuckle and cry that Johnny still got the short end of the stick after all that work he put into impressing this girl. I guess some people are just not lucky in life, according to Van Partible, who made Johnny like this.
Uh-oh. Whoa! Was that stupid or stupid?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I think I'll mention just one more and then a few honorable mentions. But this one that really stood out to me is Johnny Bravo meets the Amazon women. This is, I think, the first episode of the first season, like the last segment of the first episode of the first season. And this one really resonates with me in my memories because it is my deepest, fondest Johnny Bravo memory.
Welcome to the Village of Beautiful Women. Hubba hubba. Oh man, you chicks are pretty. Come on, do the monkey with me. Come on. So you're one of them screamer types too, huh? Wait a second.
Hello.
Before I knew his name, my sister and I used to call him Little Elvis Guy because he danced like Elvis, looked like Elvis, at least somewhat, and was much smaller than the 12-foot Amazons located on this deserted island that he got launched onto from a nearby cruise liner. That's all I remember him really doing is like doing the monkey around these tall red-haired women and like this giant purple elephant who sounded like Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley constantly like squashed him. It was very silly, very fun, and a microcosm of what the whole series was about, which is just this ridiculous humor as this character fails repeatedly and doesn't have the hindsight to see that his dating game doesn't really work that well on most women in his universe. But it's a lot of fun, and I love the twist ending for this one as well, where he ends up on an island full of men who take an interest in him.
Mister, this is getting really old really fast. I've already wasted enough time, so if you don't mind, I've got me some mountains to climb.
So yeah, that's just a little snippet of my favorite Johnny Bravo episodes. Went by pretty quick, surprisingly. And here's a couple of honorable and dishonorable mentions I'd also like to share with you too, in case you agree or disagree with them. Either way, let me know. First honorable mention would be 'Twas the Night, which is the Christmas special. I really love it for its sentimental feel, especially with the narration to make it feel like a poem. And of course, Johnny's hijinks of trying to be Santa, deliver gifts is hilarious. We got the Going Baddie one as well, which is a Halloween, sort of Halloween type episode where Johnny tries to date a vampiress after she ditches his dorky dud of a boyfriend. But in a surprising twist, the dorky boyfriend ends up winning her back through serenading her on stage, dressed up as Johnny for some reason. And then they do like a little conga line outside to the full moon, which is a lot of fun. Even if this episode doesn't lack a lot of substance, it's still pretty memorable, at least in my mind, for the imagery. And then lastly, for my honorable mentions, I'm gonna share Beach Blanket Bravo, because that's a fun beach theme one that captures like the rockabilly culture scene of the 1950s, which a lot of this show is inspired by. And for all the goofy antics and dancing, especially with the shark, the giant shark who's like trying to eat everyone and pretends to be various political figures with very cheap, small plastic masks that barely conceal his face. Like he even tries on Johnny at the end as I think Martha Washington, and I'm like, come on. Why doesn't anyone pick up on this, that he's clearly a shark who talks and just wants to eat all the swimmers? It's a very fun nod to the movie Jaws, for sure.
Hi there, wanna go swimming?
No way, Daddy-O. You're a shark. You'll eat me.
Darn it, they're on to me. I better work a different angle.
As for dishonorable mentions, I only got 2 of them, and that's just mainly because I remember them really frustrating me or annoying me as I watched them growing up. First one is Talk to Me, Baby. We have this talk show host lady named Vandala who pretty much constantly put downs, attacks, and corners Johnny Bravo on her talk show, and all the women in the audience beat up on him. And then at some point, like, one of the women get like super enraged and huge, like the Hulk, and just start tearing stuff apart. And I didn't really like it that much. It just seemed too mean-spirited towards Johnny and not really funny, just more like a commentary on hyperfeminism that goes too far. As for the other one that is dishonorable, I'm going to go with Red Face in the White House, which is basically where Johnny tries to break into the White House to get a date with Chelsea Clinton, who was Bill Clinton's daughter while he was president in the 90s. And it's another one where, you know, all the characters just seem to gang up on Johnny and just be unabashedly cruel to him. And I get it. He seems like a little bit of a weirdo with how he's just constantly just trying to focus on the sole purpose of picking up women his age for a date. But there's no rationality here. It's just constantly CIA agents, Pim and Shlomo, constantly find ways to kick him out and beat him up. And at the end, he ended up being put in a warehouse, Indiana Jones style, in the White House. And I just remember really hating that ending. It's very dissatisfying for me as a viewer who wants to root for Johnny, because even if he's kind of stupid at times, he also has a heart.
What the? Hey, pretty mama. If these pecs don't cheer you up, nothing will.
Oh, no! Not another robot boy! Oh, my gosh. A real boy?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So those are my memories. I think I'm not going to mention any more memories of watching Johnny Bravo in a specific segment this time like I usually do on this podcast, mainly because I already gushed plenty about the memories for each episode. So we're just going to go right into the next one. So why does Johnny Bravo matter in the context of Cartoon Network history? Well, what I love about all the iconic cartoon shows emerging from their primordial ooze of the What a Cartoon Show era is that each one has their own unique flavor to help them stand out from one another. You had Dexter's Lab with science and explosions and his sibling rivalry of Dee Dee. You had Cow and Chicken with gross out humor and surreal slice of life scenarios as the devil tried to interfere and inject himself into basically every episode. You had the Powerpuff Girls who would combine cuteness with kick-ass action and constantly save the day from various nefarious villains, which was a lot of fun. And Johnny Bravo had comedy paired with sophistication, referencing a bygone era of 1950s pop culture. This show somehow managed to make a persistent, self-absorbed jerk somehow endearing. And I think that's quite hard to do for any TV show, or story for that matter. Though Johnny relentlessly fails to connect with the people of Aron City, he is proof that even when the world looks down on you, you always have your close friends and family who lovingly stand by your side. Mainly Susie and Bunny Bravo, respectively. If nothing else, this show that Van Parble made did give Rising to star Seth MacFarlane the vehicle he needed to expand upon his animation repertoire. So without Johnny Bravo, love it or hate it, Family Guy and its various spin-off series would never exist. Just to reiterate that I mentioned before, if you're itching to watch some Johnny Bravo after this podcast episode, you can find the Season 1 DVD, which is the gray one marked Cartoon Network Hall of Fame, on Amazon, Walmart, or basically any big box retail store online that still has it in stock. It did come out in 2010, so it might be limited. Otherwise, it's a bit hard to come by, but I think you might be able to find it on Amazon Prime streaming or HBO Max if you dig really hard. But I'm not sure if the Cartoon Network collections got ripped off from those streaming services yet. It's kind of the luck of the draw, or if you have a friend who already has episodes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you can consult them too. Alrighty, so here's our closing for the episode. Which Johnny Bravo episodes gave you the best memories that you still look fondly upon? If you like this episode or any other episode of this podcast, share your thoughts with me in an email at checkerchildhood@gmail.com or comment on YouTube. I'll try and respond to anything that I get. You can also rate and review this podcast on Spotify or wherever else it shows up on podcast platforms. We're also on Apple Podcasts and dozens of others, so we're pretty easy to find. If you do happen to leave a review, I'll definitely share it with fellow listeners in a future episode, just to show that I value the time that you took to reach out and connect. All right, tune in next time when we visit a city full of felines in action with a short series retrospective on SWAT cats. What kinds of tidbits will we find in a dark alleyway about these two radical bobcats who fly and punch their way through evil? You'll just have to listen to the next episode to find out. Even if Johnny Bravo's humor may not exactly be for everyone, I really appreciate sharing these Check Your Childhood memories with you all. Going through a list of my personal favorites with you reminded me of a simpler time where physical comedy caused by pickup lines was merely innocent cartoon comedy instead of cancel culture fodder. But that's all I have for you today. I've been your cartoon history host, BDubs. Have a toonerific day. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to see this dope Round Pound concert that I heard was playing tonight. My friend Mike told me it's banging. Check you later.
Looks like a good time, doesn't it, Johnny?
No.
Why don't you jump in the balls?
Why don't you jump in the river?
There's no river here, only good, clean fun.